Looking a little frantic, Evan reappears in the doorway with a bundle of clothes in his hands. I'd say he's probably scared that his sister's gonna find out he's been in her room, but I'll give him credit.
Here.
Evan throws the clothes on his bed.
Are you sure that's my uniform?
I tease.
Yes.
Evan then jumps up on the bed to skip past all the mess on the floor. As I look down at the dress he's provided, he snatches at his book.
Josie,
he says, reluctantly as he frantically scans the pages.
Yeah?
I reply, excited to wear his sister's stuff.
I release you.
Evan states, placing a strong hand on my head with confidence. We stare at each other awkwardly. He doesn't get why I haven't snapped out of it. His worried eyes make me feel guilty. But I can't miss this chance. It might not come again.
I
take his hand from my head.
You didn't hypnotize me.
I sass.
Now, if you don't mind, Evan, I'd like to get changed back into my normal clothes.
Evan lowers the book in his hand. He looks distraught, like he really has broken me. I see the worry in his eyes as I point for him to leave the room.
Evan,
I repeat, placing my hands on my hips.
Please, some privacy. Please, some space.
But,
Evan stammers, shaking his head as he clutches at the book.
Why? I'll release you. I'll release you.
Is this how you treat girls when they come over?
I ask, giving him a sideways frown.
I release you.
I'll release you in a minute.
I snark, pointing for him to leave.
Let me get changed, or I'm gonna have to go get your sister.
Expecting Evan to fear me retrieving his sister, I'm surprised as his face lights up with hope. He jumps over his bed and rushes out. Taking my chance, I quickly change. I slide off my pants and my shirt and place them neatly on the bed. I quickly slide the knee-high socks up my legs. Happy with how soft they are and how they feel against my skin, I move swiftly onto the dress. I undo the small zip and throw it over my head. Adjusting it on my shoulders, I feel a little exposed, but with the zip back up, it all clings to me rather nicely. Brushing down the skirt of the dress, I sit and wait patiently for Evan to return. Wearing a sister's school uniform evokes a strong but happy feeling inside me. I am relieved that I can wear it without concerns about disapproval from my family members regarding my gender. Nonetheless, I am uncertain how long I can maintain this pretense.
Sis, this way.
I hear from outside his room in a panic. Seconds later, Evan and his slightly older sister Rona stand in the bedroom doorway staring in. I turn to look at them both and smile. Evan looks very concerned, and his sister looks surprised.
Josef?
Rona says, stepping cautiously into the room. I shake my head at her.
Josie,
I correct, standing up to show them both what I'm wearing. Evan squeams a little, seeing me in a dress for the first time. But Rona doesn't seem fazed. In fact, she turns to look at Evan like she's going to tell him off.
What does the book say?
Rona asks, making her way over to me. She stops just in front of me and looks me up and down. I go bright red, but I manage to give her a smile.
Hi,
I say.
Hi.
Josie, was it?
Yup.
I did what the book said to do.
Evan blurts out, jumping on the bed to stand directly behind me.
Now I don't know what to do. I've broken him.
I throw a shocked look back at him.
I'm not broken,
I snark.
and here I thought you invited me up here because you fancy me.
Rona giggles.
He fancies you?
She asks, looking past me at Evan.
Well, yeah.
I grin at his sister.
Why else would he invite me to his bedroom? He says he was trying to hypnotize me into thinking I'm a boy. I think he was just trying to make me fall in love with him.
Rona opens her mouth to speak, but stops to give me another glance. I love the confused looks on their faces.
Were you trying to make her fall in love with you, Evan?
Rona asks, trying not to laugh. The fact Rona referred to me as a she lights me up. I can't tell you just how euphoric that feels.
No,
Evan complains.
I told you. He's stuck thinking he's a girl. Come on, help me before he tries going home dressed in that stuff. His parents will kill me.
What do you mean?
I ask, turning to stare in Evan's direction.
Don't be mean. Say sorry.
Rona softly takes hold of my hand. She quickly gains my attention. She smiles brightly.
My brother's mean, isn't he?
She says in a friendly manner I've never seen from her.
Tell you what, Josie. You want to come hang out with me for a bit while my brother sorts out his attitude?
My attitude?
Yes.
Rona scolds, helping me to my feet.
Like it or not, Josie's a pretty little girl and you're being mean, brother.
I'm not mean. I'm not mean.
So are,
I state, sticking out my tongue.
Evan.
Rona commands as she leads me past the mess on the floor and toward the door.
I'll look after Josie. You find out what's needed, all right?
As Rona pushes me out of the door and into the hallway, I watch as my best friend's shoulders sink. He looks really dejected. Although I'm having a great time, I feel bad that he isn't. I feel like I should stop what I am doing, but right now, that's not an option. Rona would kill me for wearing her stuff if she knew I'm just messing around. I'm between a rock and a hard place, so I guess I should enjoy it.
Here we are,
Rona says, pulling me into her room. I'm amazed at how clean her room is, unlike her brother's. Everything is tidy and organized, even her makeup. It's nothing like my sister's. Though I don't know if she notices, I'm terrified being here alone with her, especially since I'm wearing her school dress.
So,
she sits down on her bed, folds her legs, and looks directly into my eyes.
You're a girl, huh?
I stare back at her, trying to hold my nerve, but I can feel my knees starting to tremble.
I think so,
I reply. Rona tilts her head to one side before her eyes slowly slide down my front and fixate on my privates. Instinctively, I cover them with my hands, even though she can definitely see them through my dress. So, she lifts one hand and points.
What bits have you down there? Are they boy bits or are they girl bits?
Having been born male, they are obviously boy bits. However, I really don't take kindly to her assumption that dangly bits are not. That's what my gender is.
I have boy bits,
I answer truthfully, glaring back at her.
But that doesn't mean I'm a boy, Rona,
I state.
I've been a girl all my life, and those bits have nothing to do with how I think or feel about myself.
Rona's eyes grow wide as I tell her off, but no words come of it. Eventually, she smiles and lets out a light laugh.
Right.
She nods in agreement.
Sorry, that was really poor from me, Josie.
Surprised by her quick retreat, I wonder where I found the confidence to speak up. Perhaps that's how I genuinely feel?
Hey, I've got a wig in my cupboard, and I've got some makeup on my vanity.
My heart skips a beat.
I'd love that!
I answer before my mind has too much time to think.
Are we doing a makeover?
Cool. Rona gets up from the bed. She walks over to her vanity desk and pulls back the chair for me to sit on. She then gives me a cheeky smile as I wander over. Makeover time. As I sit down, she opens a few of her neatly organized drawers and starts pulling stuff out. I don't dare ask too many questions, as I can barely believe what is happening. Rona picks up a brush and loads a light brown liquid upon it. As she presses it against my face, it feels cold and heavy. I watch in the mirror as she delicately applies it under my chin and around my eyes.
Josie,
she says as she concentrates.
What do you remember before you came over here today?
Sliding the brush onto the counter, Rona leans across me and starts blending into my skin with her finger. She's so pretty, and it takes every ounce of me not to get too excited.
He said he had a book to show me.
I answer the question to take my mind off how close her rack is to me. Taking a small sponge-looking item, she begins to lightly press it against my face.
Is that right?
She says.
So, boy asks you to look at something in his room, and you just agreed to it? Yeah,
I answer innocently.
Why, is that a bad thing?
No. Rona chuckles lightly as she continues to press the makeup onto my cheeks.
I'm just curious.
Stopping, Rona steps back and looks at my reflection in the mirror. She mumbles to herself in thought before grabbing an item that looks like a palette of watercolors. I watch as she loads a much smaller brush with color.
I love this color on me,
she says with a smile as she brings the brush to my eyelids.
Maybe my brother will like it too.
I try not to move as she gently wafts the brush, but I can't stop myself from correcting her.
I'm not into your brother like that, Rona,
I explain.
He's my best friend.
Oh, right, Rona says with a hint of sarcasm creeping into her voice.
Well, in that case, there's no need to be concerned about your appearance when I'm finished. You can simply appreciate looking nice for the sake of it.
Looking in the mirror with interest, I see a girl looking back at me and my mind is blowing up. Rona is right. I'm enjoying this. So, Rona smiles at me through the mirror as she notes my happy expression.
How long have you known you were a girl?
I stutter and jumble my words. This prompts Rona to offer me a warm smile.
Oh, sorry.
Rona giggles, putting a comforting hand on my shoulder.
Is that a rude question for me to ask you?
My heart is beating like crazy, and my mouth is bone dry. When did pretending to be hypnotized by my friend turn into me telling his sister my deepest, darkest secret? I just stare at the mirror as Rona goes ahead and applies a thick layer of mascara on both my eyes.
I think it's cool, you know.
You do? I reply, watching her closely as she selects a lipstick.
Yeah,
she answers, and then shows me the color she selected. It's a soft pink color, something similar to what she's wearing.
Well, to answer your question, I guess since I was around 7 years old.
That's the first time I've admitted it to anyone. I honestly thought I'd rather keel over and die than be honest. Yet here I am, telling her with confidence that I'd much rather be a girl than a boy. She's not even batting an eyelid in disgust. She seems cool with it.
Pucker up, cutie,
Rona says, holding the lipstick to my lips. Moments later, she tells me to blot the excess onto a square of tissue. As Rona walks to her cupboard, I'm left staring at my face, and I'm so pleased. I look so pretty. Here. Rona comes back and gently places a brown wig on my head. At first, it doesn't fit, and hairs get into my eyes and stick to my freshly applied lipstick. But after a few moments of fussing and some light hairbrushing, Rona has it under control.
Well?
Rona asks, placing her chin onto my shoulder to look me directly in the eye through the mirror.
Cute, huh?
I swish my face from left to right, taking it all in. I'm delighted. Coupled with the fact I'm wearing a dress already, her makeover makes me look how I feel on the inside. Like a girl.
I love it!
I squeak.
Thank you! My pleasure, Josef.
Rona then stands up straight and rests her hands on both my shoulders. She holds me down in the seat without being forceful.
Thank you for sharing with me, sweetie. But I know you're winding up my brother with this hypnotized nonsense. He's really worried that he's broken you. And that doesn't sit right with me, even if it is funny to watch him worry.
I turn my head to give her a confused look. I'm not ready for my egg to crack. If he knows I'm not hypnotized, he's gonna think I'm a freak.
Don't look so worried,
Rona comments, patting me on the head like I'm a child.
You admitted it to me with ease.
But I thought that you thought I was hypnotized.
Ha,
Rona giggles.
So you really are lying about it.
I knew it.
So you really are lying about it. I knew it.
Wait, what?
You're a good actor, you know. Part of me thought he accidentally turned you into a girl. But when I saw that passion and the pain and your expression when I asked you about your bits, I thought to myself, he's not lying. He really is a girl on the inside.
I panic. My heart thuds like crazy and I can barely breathe. Rona, we have to take this stuff off me.
It'll be okay,
Rona replies softly, reacting to the fear in my eyes. I shake my head vigorously. No, it won't. Please don't tell him I was lying. I'm scared of what others will think.
I understand. I won't. It's safe with me.
Why, Rona? I ask in confusion. Why do this for me? Aren't you annoyed that I'm wearing your clothes?
Not really.
She laughs, tapping me on the shoulder.
You've been my brother's friend for years. At this point, you're almost like a little brother. Well, I guess sister to me. Or maybe I want to see you and my brother finally get together. Who knows?
Not giving me a second to think of a reply, Rona moves to her door and opens it.
Speaking of which, shall we go show him your makeover? Speaking of which, shall we go and show him your makeover?
I'm fixed to the seat. I don't want to get up. I'm now too scared to.
Doofus! Doofus!
Rona calls into the hallway.
Get in here!
I look at the cheeky smile on Rona's face as she waits for Evan to reply. However, I don't share her amusement at the situation.
Evan!
She barks, becoming impatient. Evan comes bounding into the room. Our eyes meet, and Evan's face drops. He slowly raises a hand to point at me while giving his sister the most bemused look. What did you do to him?
Her.
Rona corrects as she brushes away her brother's evil staring.
He looks like a girl, Rona.
Evan complains.
How is this helping fix the problem?
'Cause she looks cute and is happy about it.
Rona remarks, swiping the Hypnotized book from Evan's hand.
Now, did you find anything out?
Oi, hey!
Evan groans as the book is snatched from his grasp.
Well, did you?
Rona asks, giving him a dopey look. Evan looks at me in all my feminine glory, and I can see the worry plastered across his face.
Oh,
He says sourly, lowering his head to stare at the floor.
I didn't.
Well, good,
I say, forcing a smile to keep up the lie.
I don't want to be a boy.
I then swipe hair from my eyes, stand, and step closer to Evan.
Your sister is really kind, Evan. She did my makeup. What do you think?
Slumping, Evan turns his head to look at me.
Very pretty.
He says reluctantly.
Girlfriend material?
Ask, pushing my luck but getting a quiet giggle from his sister.
Sure.
Evan answers again, letting out a breath.
What's the matter?
I ask, placing a hand on his shoulder.
I wanted to look pretty for you, Evan. You're looking at me like I'm an ugly pig or something.
Oh, it's worse than that. Oh, it's worse than that.
Evan snarks, covering his face with his hands.
I'm shocked at how pretty you really are, and now I'm sad.
Pretty? Sad?
Yeah?
Evan says, lowering his hands just enough to look at me over his fingertips.
Now I can't unsee it. You're really cute, and you know how I get around cute girls. I'm gonna be all nervous, and that means we can't be friends anymore.
I look at him in disbelief. I know he has confidence issues when it comes to talking to girls, but I wasn't expecting him to say something like that about me. I look up at his sister, expecting her to have some sort of reaction, but she's just flicking through the pages of the hypno book.
Evan,
I say softly.
I'm still me.
I explain.
Just because I want to look pretty doesn't mean I'm not your best friend anymore.
Evan lowers his hands, and there's a glimpse of hope in his expression.
It doesn't?
I'm still me.
I explain.
Please don't worry.
But you're a girl now.
Evan sulks.
I'll try my best to support you. I really will. But people are gonna tease you, and that's my fault.
Evan pauses and looks deep into my eyes.
Josie, I promise I'll hold your hand
Rona
tight.
pipes up with a long,
Aww.
She gushes at her brother's vow to protect me, then slams the book closed and gives her brother a pat on the back.
So, brother,
She says,
even though you're worried you've broken your friend, you still want to stand by her side against bullies?
Of course. Yeah.
Evan replies like that's a stupid question.
Josie's still my best friend. Of course I'd stand up for her.
My eyes begin to mist as I catch a proud look from Rona. I think you two are gonna be fine. Rona giggles, thrusting the book back into Evan's hands.
But, Evan, remember what you just said, okay? It's going to be important to you both one day.
Evan looks bemused.
What? Why?
I found the answer in the book,
Rona says, ignoring Evan's confusion.
Josie will go back to normal after 2 hours. You just have to wait for it to wear off.
Is that it?
Yes.
So he'll go back to being a boy?
Yes. What do you mean, boy?
I ask them both, keeping up appearances.
Nothing, Josie,
Rona says, and points to the exit of her room.
Now, you two, please go play elsewhere. I've got homework to do.
Okay.
Evan nods and gives me a nervous look.
Come on, Josie. We'll go hang out in my room. Come, Josie. We'll go play in my room.
Rona jumps on her bed and lays back.
Evan, I don't want to hear you roughhousing the poor girl, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Evan says, opening the door.
Come on, Josie, before my sister starts to bite.
Evan leaves the room and I'm about to follow, but the swirl of my dress and the movement of my hair stops me. Thank you, Rona, I say before I leave. A single tear dribbles down my face. You won't ever know how much this means to me.
It's cool,
Rona replies like it's nothing. She then turns her head to look me deep in the eyes.
Don't leave my brother on, cutie. All right?
He's my friend. I bashfully brush away her comment with a laugh.
He's a boy, and you're a pretty girl.
She quips.
Look, just let me know when you're ready to snap out of being Josie.
I'm not ready yet. Figures. Rona giggles, but then wags her finger. No more hypnotizing. We won't. Good girl. Rona laughs. 'Cause I ain't playing along with you pretending to be a pig.
Thank you so very much for watching and making it all the way to the very end. If you've enjoyed the content, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where members get early access to all our content.